welcome to Posh Rustic. My name is Alex and today I'm making a plant box. First I make my pattern and then I transfer it onto the plywood. So you notice I've marked out all the drill holes because I don't actually want the square edges that I've got here. I want to round them off. So I'm going to use these spade bits, and you'll notice that I've got 3 different sizes here, and that's because the angles here are different from the angles here. That's the 90 degrees. So I want a bigger rounded edge there. That one here is smaller, so I'm going to use a smaller spade bit there. And the way to mark this, where you're going to actually put the centre of your spade bit, is just to line up the edge of your spade bit with your line there, and then mark a line, the point of the bit, and then line it up again with the other edge of your angled thing. Then mark the edge, and then you have a cross section, and that is where you aim to put the central part of your spade bit. And then you'll see that when that turns around, the edge there will just literally sit on the edge of your pattern. Time to cut out the shapes. So I'm just slicing these 150mm wide boards into 60mm wide because I want some panels on the sides, some sort of smaller slats. Then I'll put a bit of a profile on them so it gives it just a little bit more detail. I think it looks a bit nicer. And now just cutting the slats down to the widths that I need for all of the front, back and side panels. And now just adding a profile to those slats. So I have 6 slats per panel, and I've just put 6 here all together upside down, and I'm just drawing on the back and marking out a line for each side where I'm going to put my joiner pieces. You might notice as I'm nail gunning, I'm actually holding the nail gun at a different angle. This sends the nail into the wood at a different angle, and it makes a bit more solid connection because the wood I'm using is only 17mm, and if I just do them straight, they can actually come loose because the nails that I'm using are quite short. So I'm just about to chamfer the corner posts, and I'm just marking out where I'm going to feed the post in and out of, so that I don't want to take the chamfer all the way to the edges. I want to sort of stop and start, and you'll see what I mean when I show you the end result. So I've made two of these panels, one's for the front, one's for the back, and it's going to be a lot easier for me to stain this at this stage rather than when it's all together, because trying to get into some of the nooks and crannies is really difficult, and you end up getting sort of dark blobs of stain where you don't want them because you've overdone it. So I'm doing it all as I go along, and I feel that the result comes out way better. Technique I use is pretty much just, put it on quite liberally with the brush, not using any care really, and then just wiping it off with the cloth. That way you don't get any brush marks. It's a nice even finish. I'm just adding a bottom rail to these front and back panels so that they will support the floor once that goes in. So these are the side slats, and again I'm just going to stain them first. This is the back of those slats. I did find that when I made the first one that they were, doing the inside was quite time consuming and a bit tricky, so definitely easier doing them first. So I'm just going to install the side slats now, and I'm just going to put one slat at the bottom just to make sure the width is correct and square, and then when I put one at the top, then I got that sort of all squared up, and then I can nail gun that. And by the time you sort of start putting all the slats in, it sort of comes together nicely, stays square, it's quite easy. Just using a bit of plywood for the base, and then just putting the planter box over it upside down so I can just draw out the cutouts. So last job is making the top edging, and I do like to mitre the corners. I think it finishes it off really nicely. So all finished. I'm really pleased with how these have come out. And here they are in their new home. This is Alex from Posh Rustic. Thanks so much for watching.